Hi, in this video, I just want to discuss with you an important topic, that is the need for regularization of shrimp aquaculture in the country. You may be surprised, and shrimp aquaculture we are doing very well, and we make a lot of export revenue out of it. We have special organizations involved in taking care of fish and fish products export. And every year we are going on increasing the area of operation for shrimp, and more than 90% of our aquaculture in the country is focusing on shrimp. So then why we need to do this regularization? Because of two important factors. Any production of food, maybe like agriculture produce or animal or fish, there are two important aspects generally ecologists look into it. One is like water footprint, and another one is environmental footprint. So how much quantum of water is used to produce 1 kg of protein? That is a factor or unit to talk about water footprint. And environmental footprint is greenhouse gas emission, or in other words, the carbon dioxide emission quantum per kg of protein produced. So when we look at these two parameters, and aquaculture compared with agriculture or animal husbandry production, and there are certain disadvantages in aquaculture practices, particularly when we talk about shrimp. Early 80s, when we during 85-86, when the first shrimp farm came into practice in our country, there was a understanding like a shrimp aquaculture can be taken up along the backwaters or brackish waters or the mangrove areas. Then the pattern changed, and we started doing it in coastal areas, in and around the coastal belts, the coastal land. The trend has changed. The shrimp venami can be grown in freshwater. So there need to be some kind of regularization required, so that the shrimp farming areas can be identified. There should be a clear guidelines available in each state, which are the areas we can take up for shrimp farming. And if you look at the impact of shrimp aquaculture, there are a number of aspects we have to look into it. One is the land requirements. The larger the area, for example, if you are going for shrimp aquaculture, you require larger area. Then the water demand, as I have been telling you, for shrimp to produce 1 kg, you may require almost like 20 tons of water. For carp, it is 61, it's the maximum water requirement, because we are all doing kind of exchange water aquaculture system, not advanced aquaculture practices. Then eutrophication is another important aspect, because most of the feed which we are using in the aquaculture systems goes as a waste, more than 40%. So it means like as we are using more fed species aquaculture, as we have been doing in freshwater or in marine side with the shrimp, and enormous quantum of feed or nutrient enrichment takes place in the water and the soil. This leads to eutrophication both in the freshwater and the marine side. And biotic depletion, there are large quantum of fish meal goes into the preparation of fish feed. So it means like there are studies showing like the ocean is being depleted because of this biotic depletion. And the last but not least is the greenhouse gas emission. So this is important parameter. If you look at this greenhouse gas emission, if you look at shrimp, it is the maximum compared with all other fish culture like catfish. It is kind of 140, and for carp 47, whereas for shrimp it is 160 tons of carbon dioxide for 1 kg of meat production. So in terms of greenhouse gas emission, compared with animal husbandry, agriculture, and our own fish species, shrimp is at a very disadvantageous position. So these are the aspects of concern, and it's time we have to regularize our shrimp farming activities, mainly where we can take a shrimp farming, because as I have been telling you, there is a detailed survey has been carried out in our country, and the low saline area or underground water is saline. That kind of areas are largely available in our country, and most of the states, this coastal states as well as some interior states, as I have been mentioning, like Punjab, Haryana, and all, there are plenty of such land areas available, and there is a suggestion that these areas, almost like 10 million hectares of such areas have been identified, and of course we have more than a million hectare of brackish waters available. So we need to have a clear guidelines to have shrimp farming, particularly banami farming in such a low saline area, and some 25% of the brackish water area, and the entire coastal area can be used for extracted species, as I have been telling, to culture molluscan as well as for seaweed. For requirement is zero, and for as far as greenhouse gas emission is concerned, it is only 10 tons compared with the shrimp, it is 160 tons. So it is more and more of molluscan culture and the seaweed culture along the coastal belt. So this is how we can regularize the shrimp aquaculture practices. I request all the people concerned, organizations, the government, and the policymakers can have a small discussion, deliberation taking place in the country to identify appropriate species so that aquaculture in India can survive for long. Thank you.